So, one time become an habit. I'm procrastinating. Welcome back. So, we are in March and we are going to review January. Absolutely. I've been procrastinating that for the whole month. And now, so I'm going to do both. Even though I think January, I don't remember at all what happened. So let's dive into this. But so yeah, a lot of stuff, and first month with progress with my coach. So I'm going to leave it run a little bit because I'm honestly I don't remember anything. But yeah, so this month was really about. So I have done the review of the 2021, and so now I'm really getting into what I want for this year. And this year I want to perform. I want to come back to doing competition and scoring under par consistently. This is my goal. My goal for this year is scoring under par consistently. That's why I started seeing a coach that actually this is the first time in a very long time. And I don't remember if I said that, but the reason why I did that is because I tend to focus way too much on technique. And so I want someone to help me focusing less on that. So in a way, they are focusing on that, and I'm at least less focusing on technique. I'm just focusing on practicing, doing what my coach is telling me to do, and not overthinking things too much, which is a big issue for me. And yeah, it went pretty well actually during this month. So I started doing some coaching with the coach I found, and we review my technique, what I wanted to do, and so on. So that was really interesting, and let's see if I can remember, and we will see as we go on during this month the things that actually we agreed on, and the direction I'm taking my game moving forward. So this is, so I think I'm still on the multiple level swing. So I have level 1, 2, and 3, where this one is primarily the level 2, even though there I'm pushing the ball. And so the level 1 is really, as a reminder, is really about precision and accuracy. I want to be very accurate, very precise. I want to be able to take that swing anytime I'm going for the green on the fairway or on middle length par 3, not long par 3. I think long par 3 I'm going to be more on the level 2, because level 2 is a balance between power and precision. And also I'm looking for having a higher ball flight with the level 2 in order to hit a long iron, but having them that are landing very softly. And so yes, the level 1 I want to be able to hit hitting greens, it should not even be a question. I should just be able to do it. And I mean, not do it, but my focus should primarily be about how can I be as close as possible to the flag and on the right side to the flag as possible to ease my putt next, and not about can I hit or not this green. No, I'm going to hit it. That's not the question. The question is where I need to put the ball in order to actually have an easy putt next. This is the goal. So we are going to talk about the driver, because here I'm more on level 2, but you can see there is a few things that we have understood. Is first of all, I'm extremely flexible, and so that's very difficult for me to keep generating power when I'm not going very long. When I'm restricting my backswing, it's difficult for me to generate power because I'm generally very flexible. And so we thought about that and think that maybe that's a good idea, that I should not try to restrict anything and go as long as I can, rotate and go as long as I can, even though I'm going to make a overswing. That's better for me because it's allow me to have more time to come back and to be able to catch the ball well. So yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you know what you are doing. And before we move on, this is also something I realize is, okay, at the beginning you want to listen to what the pro says and what is generally the best way to go about it. But once you reach a certain level, you need to understand what's work and what doesn't work for you, and play to your strength and try to work on your weaknesses. But yeah, I'm very flexible, so for me, restricting my backswing is just going to interfere with my consistency and generate less power. So I need to embrace this part of myself, even though on textbook thing is not the best idea to do that, because most people are not as flexible as me. This is what we need to understand. The technique is generally more about what works for the majority of people, but there is always outliers, and I'm kind of one. So downswing, shifting, and dragging, rotating, pulling down, rotating, a lot of stuff. As well as rotating the compass. Wow. That's what I say when I say I'm overthinking things. Yes. That's difficult because I don't remember any of those sessions. I don't know what I did, but here it's the level 1. Doesn't look that bad, but still going left on the follow through, and this is something I talked about. I think in the month of December when I review the year. It's now I've worked a lot on backswing, transition, and even though I'm going to keep modifying stuff and so on, I think really this and also transition and downswing, I worked a lot on that, but I think this year is a year where I'm going to focus on the release and master the release, and this is why my goal is to now start performing on the golf course, is because once you reach the release, it means you've got right most of the part of the swing in general. And so if I'm able to finish my whole swing and have my release done in a right way, I think I'm going to start getting really consistent in what I'm doing. So this is what I hope, at least. We'll see. So level 2. In the level 2 golf swing, in the level 1, it's really about getting straight, just dead straight every time. But in the level 2, I'm more focused on having some kind of push draw motion, where yes, it's also to help the ball get higher, and yes, having a trajectory that I'm comfortable with. I really like this idea on shots that are relatively long in distance, to have the ball starting right to where I'm aiming and coming back to the center. It's a ball flight that is comforting to me, because the straight shot, the issue on long distance straight shot is it have time to getting catched by the wind, and so it's just more comfortable to look at a push draw motion than to look at a straight ball, because a straight ball, until the end, I'm worrying that the ball is going to get out of the line and so on. Where in a push draw motion, the ball is getting out directly on the right, and then start very soon its curve to come back to the center. And so very soon you can predict pretty much where the ball is going to end. And that's just getting more comfortable and confident about what you are doing. That's some kind of reinforcing loop you're swinging, and each ball you don't need to wait until the ball land for you to be comfortable with the result of your shot. So you are limiting your worrying on the golf course, which prevents you from spending useless energy in worrying. That's why I like it. Level 2 with my wood. Still a bit flat, but that I'm correcting with creating more lag. Okay, anyway, keep repeating the same thing. Drag down, rotate, and pull down through. Okay, keep drag down, probably with the left side, and rotate and pulling. Rotate while pulling down. Okay. Because I mean, currently I'm just so far from where I was at this point. I just don't remember. No, that doesn't look that bad. Let's make it quick, shall we? I'm still using my level 2 swing on my driver and not the level 3. The level 3 is for later, where I will completely embrace my flexibility. Repeating the same thing but get tougher. Yeah, it's something that I start noticing once I'm able, because this is very rare, but sometimes I'm able to repeat doing the same thing for at least 2 or 3 or even 4 sessions in a row. That's really rare, but it can happen. And what I found is I start becoming less and less aware and conscious about what I'm doing, and so old patterns start coming back, and this becomes tougher and tougher to just do the same thing, because the old patterns are fighting back to what I'm trying to repeat. And so and actually this is January, I'm not pushing through it, but that's a mistake. I should continue 6 or 7 or even 10 sessions after that, in order to push through the resistance of my subconscious and create new pattern. But yeah, that's not. I'm not very good at that. This is something I need to improve on. As you see, the level 1 is really smooth. I'm not trying to force it. I just a good rhythm, good contact, focus, precision, and accuracy. As simple as that. Let's move on. Level 2, probably. Looks like an 8 iron, maybe. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. The follow through is not that bad on this one. Oh. Downswing is good, the release get better, but I'm not there yet. Lag, rotation with a backward rotation. I don't understand what I have rotated. I don't understand. What do I mean? Backward. What? I don't understand. Oh, anyway, let's move on. I'm going to put the whole video anyway, so. And also in January it was very cold, very cold, and so here the coach said that when my club is getting across is because I'm rotating too much, but I get what he's saying, but I don't agree. I think there is an issue in the way I'm initiating my downswing, and which caused my arm to drop behind me, and because my arm are dropping behind me, my hand are doing this, and this is what caused my club to move across the line. So and this is an inconsistent move. What I want is the club getting up to the plane and then coming back, at least without getting this waggle at the end of the backswing. Like this one was a little bit better, as what I was saying. The club is getting in the right position and almost, I'm still doing it a little bit, but almost getting back directly in plane. Keep width out throughout the downswing. Yeah, this one I remember because I felt really good in the downswing, even though it was I was very feeling strange. I mean, not strange, but I wasn't able to put any power into my shot. But what I was doing is primarily just getting my arm, keeping my arm as aware as I could during the downswing and the follow through and release, and also in the backswing. So basically, it was keeping my arm as far away from me as possible, my hand and my arm and my club as far away from me as possible during the entire swing. And so this forced me to maintain the triangle. So it was feeling interesting. I was consistent, but I had a lot of trouble to give any power, especially for me, because I'm the kind of golfer that use, I would say, a lot my upper body. I'm probably balanced between my upper body and lower body, but clearly I'm not the kind of golfer that use only its lower body. And so by just locking my arm in one position and not using them, and for me, suddenly I didn't know how to swing. Yes. Speed training. Oh, this one we are going to talk about it. Working on trajectory push to effect. So also just before I'm talking about that, is something I really realize is I'm way too my standards are way too high compared to my current level. I have the standard in my head of the world number one, of the best player in the world. When I'm practicing, I want to have this accuracy, but the issue is I'm not able to. so there is this discrepancy between my standard and the reality of my current level, because it always pushes me way too far out of my comfort zone. Where when you want to progress, when you want to get better and so on, the best way to go about it is identifying your comfort zone and having standards that push you just a little bit outside of it. And then once this little bit outside become your new comfort zone, then you can raise your standard and go beyond that and beyond that and beyond that. For me, my standard are just the maximum it can possibly be. It's just that. It's just the ultimate precision, accuracy, perfection possible. And so this creates a big difference between what I have in my head and the reality. And this is something I probably need to work on, because it creates in my subconscious a lot of stress. Of course, I'm never able to meet those standards because they are unrealistic standards, at least for now. So yes, this is something I need to be more aligned between what I'm doing currently and what I'm trying to, what are my standards currently. And also, because I have this idea that if my standards are not high enough, I'm not going to get there. But no, standards are evolving over time. You should be coherent between what you are currently doing, and then rising progressively your standard as you progress. Anyway, so yeah, what we discussed with my coach is I'm kind of in a routine in the practice run where I just hit balls really relaxedly without putting much effort or speed into it, and so I'm kind of getting sleeping on the practice range. Let's say it like that. And so what he said to me is it could be great from time to time to add some speed training session where I just don't care where the ball goes, don't care what the result is, but I'm just trying to hit the ball as hard and not necessarily as hard, but as fast as I possibly can. And so I took back my radar that I had back in the days, not the day, but 1 or 2 years ago I was using it a lot. Well, here I was really just trying to go at it as fast as possibly can. And because I'm not used to it, and I'm not even able to see. You see my feet are not getting off the ground that much. It doesn't look like, and so then and the speed was really bad, and so I got bored and I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to swing my level 3 and fuck it. And then I hit a few one I think at 120 miles per hour, where before with my normal swing I'm just on 1.5. So yeah, there is a very big difference. And this is after that we actually starting talking about, okay, there is a big, very, very big difference. 15 miles per hour, it's just humongous difference. Between when I'm just getting my backswing as far as I possibly can and that really stretch everything in my core, and so I can really come back at it strong, and when I'm just swinging with my normal swing, my level 2 swing. So and also there is something interesting is my speed is kind of plateauing. I don't know. I mean with my iron and my wood, not necessarily my wood, but my long iron, I still get a decent amount of speed with my level 2, but normally the speed should increase gradually as you move with a bigger club, but for me that just doesn't happen. It's like I'm creating a plateau. And so, especially with the driver, I mean, with my level 2 swing, I'm just struggling to hit 110 miles per hour. Where when I take my level 3, it's 110. It's almost I'm not even trying to do it, and I'm getting over it. So, and what's interesting is I'm not that bad in terms of accuracy and precision. I just need to practice a little bit to get comfortable with that. But this is something I can use pretty easily on the golf course and get good results. I mean, I can put the ball on the fairway pretty easily. So why should I? Why just not using that if I have this technique in the bag? Anyway, let's move on. Well, anyway, so we have with my coach. We talked a lot about how I'm doing this push draw motion, how about my swing, a few things, and so on. So what was interesting is that session is the previous speed session. I was really fast, and this one I just, it's like my body was over. There was nothing in the tank. Impossible to swing fast. Anyway, let's move on to the next session. Open shoulder, shift right, shift left. Okay, this is the backswing. Open the shoulder and shift right. And before I'm starting the backswing, I open the shoulder and I shift my weight to the right side. Bam. I'm not even moving the club at this point. Then I'm shifting as soon as my weight is on the left side, I start moving the club back by setting it, and I start also shifting my weight back to the left. And this is this motion of shifting back to the left that rotate my hips. Then I keep shifting to the left during the transition, and I'm dragging the club down. So this allows me to avoid this thing that I'm doing at the end of my backswing, where I'm actually having my head that is moving a little bit up before moving down. And then I'm rotating my lower body and externally rotated my left arm like that. So yeah, I was using my level 2 swing with my wedges. I'm not really used to do that. Oh, also, yes, I just remember at some point because I'm struggling with the release, the impact area and the release and the follow through. And by doing the right thing, the issue is I'm pushing the ball extremely. And so during a bit of time, I don't know if I started at this point, but I said, okay, I'm going to keep a very strong grip that I'm using for my level 3 and just try to swing like that and develop good pattern on my overall swing. And then progressively over time, we will come back to a more neutral grip that I have actually. So, but in order to modify my swing, I need to first don't have to worry about my hand and get my club face a lot closed at impact in order to rotate more through impact. And so the easiest way to do it is just to keep to get a strong grip. And so I don't know if it was already there, but it looked like I had it already. What the minute? Okay. No, everything is fine. strong grip for embracing my natural swing motion. That's what I was saying. So strong grip. So I use strong grip with every club, even little ships. So yes, this man with my coach was really about getting him to understand what I'm doing, my tendencies and so on, and me to understand, okay, well, what's work and what doesn't work for me, and find out my game, actually, just finding out my game. Well, this month, not this was in January, but the month of February, which we are going to talk about in the next video, was more about getting into an understanding, getting to know my distance, which I didn't know until then, and having a distance system that I'm comfortable and able to hit with consistency. But anyway. And actually, my swing with a strong grip wasn't looking that bad. Actually, it was even looking pretty well. You see, my club is moving perfectly in plane and come back directly in the plane without this waggle I was doing at the top. So yeah, I mean, it looked absolutely awesome. The only issue, of course, with a strong grip, my ball flight was getting a little bit lower. Also, we realized that my lie were way too upright, and I needed to be a lot flatter. Almost every club was standard, where I actually needed to be 4 flat, and that's why I had a tendency to get the ball to the left or to hit it very close to the heel, and sometimes chunk it. So we modify the lie also. Because the coach I'm seeing actually have a trackman, so we can see extremely well what I'm doing with a lot of details. Actually, I'm considering buying one. That's just a lot of money, but given my goals, given what I want to accomplish, I think that's worth it. So we'll see when I get the motivation to do that. So of course, with my wood and a strong grip, it's almost impossible for me to not doing another swing. Impossible, because a strong grip is going to help you hinge your wrist more. If you're the kind of golfer that is not very able to hinge your wrist that much, a strong grip can help a lot to do that, and this increases the lag, actually. So let's move on. Oh yes, some wedges. Keep retreating with tongue. I'm getting tired, I think. Boom, 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 boom. And what was interesting is that I start feeling at this point I was starting feeling my swing changing, evolving in the right direction, and so on. And to the point where I'm not sure that this is in this session, but in the next or the session after that, I starting actually needed to open the face because I was doing the right thing, and this was creating a bit too much of draw. So with a strong grip, I was hitting draw. Oh, catapult motion. Catapult. That's a motion that I really like, but I'm still not able. At this point, I wasn't able. I think today I haven't tried yet, and I hope I'm on the right path, but I think I found something very interesting for the release on how the release actually works. And so I really want to try it. Shift left, shift right, shift right, shift left. Keep shifting left. Boom. Turning a little bit too much my wrist to open the club face. I was getting a little bit inside out. And I was also starting creating just ridiculous amount of lag. But because I wasn't able to release it properly, it wasn't helping me to create power anyway. So it was extremely dark. I just didn't know where I was hitting the ball at this point. I just saw it, left, then gone. No idea. Stinger. Keep repeating the same thing I like the way my swing evolved since I changed my grip. This is what I said. It's evolved in the right direction until it went too far. Still working? Still working. Anyway. What did I do? What did I do? Well, let's wrap things up. Let's move on. Yeah, that's probably a new session. Anyway, strong grip also. Moving on. Setting the and jumped at impact. Also, yes, this is a very big point that I was. This is about the release. With the driver, I'm jumping off the ground, but really far after the motion. I'm not turning my hips enough, and probably this is linked to that. I'm not pushing in the ground soon enough or in the right way, and so on. I found the answer. This is what I want to test, but I just was testing stuff to find out, just trying to keep things to remove one one part of the swing to get my to come back sooner and so on. I don't know how to explain. That was strange, but yeah. Anyway, that was something. Getting off the ground sooner, trying to push off the ground during the transition in order to generate more power and more easily, and also getting more in the natural motion of the swing. Something like that, but the way I was doing it was wrong. So even though it was looking kind of okay, it wasn't actually helping me to get more power, because I don't want to do the thing so it look good, so it look okay, without getting the result I want. Why I want to push of the ground sooner and so on, is to generate more power. But if I'm doing it in the wrong way, I'm not going to get the result I want. That's as simple as that. Vertical rotation through impact. Oh, let's move on. I think we get the picture for today. Anyway, so let's wrap things up. Thanks you for watching. This month was really getting me starting on understanding my swing better, getting my coach to understand my swing better, my swing actually, the way I'm doing it, the way I function, the way I think about things and so on, so we get on the same page. And next month, the month of February, which I'm going to review next, was primarily about, understanding what works and what doesn't work for me and getting to know my distance. So we are going to talk about that. So thanks you for watching, and I see you next time.